Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Listen, Sakiyna, you have the rest of your life to look back at this dumbass decision that you made. The rest of your life. Honestly, I don't even know how she thought this was going to turn out. I know sometimes you make mistakes in life, sometimes you do dumb shit, and then it comes back around to bite you. But we're talking about like stuff that won't take away the rest of your life from you. But this Jamaican woman right here. And yes, she is Jamaican. It's verified. Man, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, remember, we did a video concerning this case recently on the channel. Well, we must first start out by being honest and by correcting some information. We thought we had credible information because it was published before, but the same entity that is a reliable news entity that published it actually corrected their story, which we have to correct our story as well. So, no, they did not know each other. This is the same Jamaican girl who flew from New York to Florida to murder her boyfriend's or ex-boyfriend's new woman, and she was seen walking in the hallway on camera. She got into the apartment complex by pretending to be an Uber driver that was there to pick up a client, etc. A lot of people wanted to know, why did she open the door for her at that time of the morning in the wee AM hours? And it was because of that. She orchestrated a way to get her to open the door. It was all a part of her premeditation, which is why she got sentenced the way she got sentenced. So we must clear this up. They did not know each other than online, other than the deceased being confronted by her man's ex-girlfriend, which turns out to be this Jamaican girl who lives in New York. She had been in Florida before, but it was not with this girl, and they were not friends, and they did not know each other. With that said, she has now been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I remember when ex-temptation killers got sentenced, and they were sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, and the judge said, in a way that made it sink into me, the judge said, I don't know, you have a smile on your face right now, or you're acting like you don't care right now, but I know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to go back to your cell tonight. You're going to grab your pillow. You're going to put your face in it, and you're going to cry as hard as you've ever cried, because it will have set in that these walls around you will never change. As long as you live, you will never get out of this facility or out of a prison. And you will go day in and day out doing the same routine stuff for days, weeks, months, years, for the rest of your life. And you will grow older, and your family members will be on the outside. They'll be getting on with life. They'll be passing away. You won't be able to attend funerals. People will be growing up. They'll be getting married. They'll be starting families of their own. The world will go on without you. And he said, if you live long enough, one day, way down the road, you will go lay down in your cell, and when the correction officer comes to do head count, they will realize that you are no longer alive. And they will take you out of that cell, and your body will be placed in a body bag. And that is the only day and the only way you will make it out of this prison. And that's what it means for the sentence you just got, which is life without the possibility of parole. I said, God damn. The judge took his time to say all that because they acted like they didn't care. Looking at this young lady while she was being sentenced and watching the family members give their victim impact statements. I believe it was the brother of the victim who was there, who was saying, I hope every day of your life is lonely, and I hope you will be thinking about this, because you will have the rest of your life to think about the stupid decision that you made. And she didn't even flinch. When the family was up there saying you wasted taxpayers' dollars trying to concoct a story and trying to tell lies about you were pregnant and you were defending your baby in your belly and all this other stuff, you could have just got straight to the truth, because look where you ended up anyways. She did not bat an eye. She did not flinch. Hearing life without the possibility of parole is enough to make some people faint. Some people's sphincters go loose. They pee and poop themselves. Some people pass out and have to be taken out. Some people get hysterical and start crying, or they start fighting, start trying to punch their lawyer for losing the case, start trying to throw a chair. If your hands are tied, they dive over the desk. They do anything. She did absolutely nothing. She just looked like, okay, I'm going home. I don't know if she think it means she's getting deported and she gets a chance to go back to beautiful Jamaica. Yo, as a Jamaican that came to the United States of America, and I know what Jamaica looked like, I can't imagine coming here and ending up with life in prison in the United States of America without the possibility of parole. That means that beautiful island that you are from, where the sun shines all year round, and the beautiful beaches, and the good food, and the vibes, you will never experience that again as long as you live, no matter how badly you want to. The news headline out of Florida says woman gets life in prison without parole for 2022 killing of her romantic rival in Tamarack, Florida. Her name is Sakiyna Thompson, and she was found guilty of first-degree murder in the death of Kayla Hodgson. Somebody might say this could have been worse because she was facing the death penalty, and she could have easily have gotten the death penalty because all they needed was 8 of the 12 jurors to say yes, sentence her to death. But apparently they didn't say it, so she didn't end up with the death penalty, but she did end up with life without the possibility of parole. The woman was convicted in the killing of her romantic rival in Tamarack back in 2022. And now she has been sentenced. And her sentence, she dodged the death penalty, but she ended up with life without parole. The sentence was handed down on Monday, December 1st, against 31-year-old Sakiyna Thompson. Sakiyna Thompson has been convicted of first-degree murder in the July 2022 killing of 23-year-old Kayla Hodgson after a jury deliberated. Get this, it took the jury only 1 hour to sentence her, 1 hour to find her guilty. And in October, when she was found guilty, was when we did our first video that we said, Jamaican woman found guilty, now facing at sentencing, life in prison or the death penalty. So this is a follow-up video where we're telling you that she has now been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On Monday, 10 of the victim Hodgson's family members and friends, they got up to speak in a courtroom right before Sakiyna's sentencing. One of them said what she did was wicked and evil, and a person like her, it's important that they never see the light of day again. This is Hodgson's cousin, Melanie John, who said this. And quite honestly, looking at her demeanor, throughout this entire piece of the trial, I have the same kind of sentiment. She she really has no remorse. She really has no remorse. You know, some people will make up their mind like, I'm willing to go low, really low. I'm willing to go to hell. Like, I'm willing to lose my freedom, do the rest of my life in prison just to make sure that I kill you. And it looks like it was one of those kind of situations. Yeah, it looked like she was willing to throw it all away just to make sure that she killed this girl. As far as Sakiyna life goes, though, I was doing some research on her, and it turns out she was a nail tech in New York. And she was living the kind of life where you would think she was making a whole lot of money, because all throughout her social media tracks, it's all name brand stuff, like expensive things and going shopping all the time. You know, a lot of people put on for social media, but she looked like she was that. And she is well known as well because she is a nail tech. Usually people like hairdressers, nail tech, barbers in barbershops, you have a whole lot of people that might know you if you're from Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, them kind of places, right? She was one of those kind of people. So her life wasn't really that bad. She was just caught up on this one dude. The sad thing is, that dude has already moved on with his life. As far as we were told, he now is in a relationship that has a woman right now that's about to have a baby for him, and he's moved on. So you put one girl in the grave, the man who you did it for moved on, gone about his business. His new woman don't know you, don't care to know you. You'll just be their story about the crazy bitch that he was with before. And now you are going to be around women for the rest of your life. You did all that for dick. And now you will have no dick for the rest of your life. Another one said, another family member said, I feel like I can finally start some type of healing. This is another cousin named Alicia Mitchell. It will never be the same. We will forever miss her. The way she died, it still never really sits right with us. At least the person who is responsible for it is being held accountable. Prosecutor said that Thompson flew to South Florida from New York days before the murder with the intention of killing Hodgson. See, that's another thing I didn't know. I thought she flew in and did it and flew right back out, or drove back, something like that. Apparently, she had this all planned out. She took days off and she stalked this girl, and she figured out how to get into her apartment complex and everything. So she flew in, according to prosecutors, days before the murder was committed. They said that she was jealous of Hodgson for dating her ex-boyfriend. Thompson surprised Hodgson at her Tamarack apartment at 5 a.m. There was no conversation about come on over so I can talk to you and we can talk this out. That was her words. That wasn't true. That's not how it happened. She tried to confront her on social media. The girl blocked her, and then she flew to Florida. She showed up at 5 a.m. She confronted her about the two women dating the same man, and then she stabbed her to death. It's that plain and simple. So during the trial, jurors heard 4 hours of closing argument that were centered on whether Thompson planned to kill Hodgson or whether Thompson acted in self-defense. It took 4 hours. I don't know why it took 4 hours. She didn't invite you over there. Y'all didn't know each other. The fact that you even made it into her apartment complex that is a secured complex should have said it all. But you know, when one person is not alive to speak on their own and to tell their side of the story, and the next person is making up a story, the courts have to go through the motions. The defense attorneys insisted that Thompson didn't start the fight and said that Hodgson struck her over the head and cut her on her pregnant stomach. That's what her lawyers said. They said that the killing was unfortunate, but it was only Thompson's attempt to save her own life and the life of her unborn child. They really tried to save her. They played on everybody's emotions, talking about unborn child. You know, Of course, if you hear that, somebody bringing a knife to a pregnant belly, you're going to think, shit, by all means, defend yourself. The only problem is, not nagoso. Not nagoso is a part of her lies. The state said that Thompson tried to conceal her identity that night by coming to the apartment in a hat that she pulled down low over her forehead and a COVID-19 mask on. And she used a fake Uber account to get there and to get back to her hotel. Thompson had claimed that she blacked out and she didn't remember killing Hodgson because she was just in a fit of trying to defend herself. That blacked out shit did not work. How about the audacity to come up here on the stand and waste taxpayers' dollars and tell them a crock of garbage to everyone about you blacked out and your blackout reasoning? This is what another one of the family members said. Well, sadly for her, like I said before, she will never see Jamaica again. She ain't coming out. She's gone forever. And you know, sometimes, right, serving time in prison, so many bad things happen to you in there, you start wishing you died. So the girl that died, her hell is over because she's no longer with the living. But this Jamaican girl, 31 years old, that's supposed to be like the prime of your life. Here you are going to prison for the rest of your life. Good luck to her. I think she earned it. You know, they have a saying that says, you do stupid things and you win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Well, this is one of those. She played this game and she got exactly what she deserved. Some people would say give her the death penalty, but the death penalty is too easy sometimes. Sometimes some people need to live to suffer. She will remember every single day, every single detail of how that fight went, of how that day went, of how she stupidly planned and executed that idea of getting into that apartment complex that was secured, of going to that girl's door, of figuring out her apartment, of stabbing her, killing her, all of that. And she'll have to have that play over and over and over in her head. And she'll have to face the fact that that is the exact reason why she can't go outside. She can't go to no more parties, no more family gatherings. One of the wickedest things in life, right, is when I see people locked up like this. And if they have children, their children are grown or their children are growing. And then their children either get in trouble and go to prison too, or the child gets married. Worst case scenario, the child dies and you can't even go to your child's funeral. Your mama and your daddy pass away and you can't go to their funeral. Your brother and your sister pass away and you can't go to their funeral. And your whole world just crumbles behind all that. She has a long ways to go. The first day of the rest of her life. Leave your comments in the comment section below. What I'm saying in Jamaica, them have a saying where say, me is a girl been a fight over man. Yes, you should have listened to that song right there and left it right where it was. Look what fighting over man got you. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. I'm out. Peace. And before we go, let's show some dignified respect for the young lady who lost her life in all this. May her soul rest in peace, and may her family find some comfort knowing it's not going to make it any easier, but they'll find some comfort knowing that who did this actually got dealt with. Justice was served. I'm out. Peace.